can see that the start process was just halted there while Munich corrected their course. And the crews are away here for the first race of the afternoon in the Thames Challenge Cup. Münchener Ruderclub von 1880 from Deutschland in the Buck Station on the right-hand side of your screen. Riverside Boat Club B from the United States of America on the left-hand side of your screen. Huge international participation at this year's event. A record number of crews, I think it was 66 was it, Tom, from the United States of America, as we're riding here with the American crew.
Yeah, wonderful to see from our transatlantic cousins, but not having the best of the early running here. The crew from Germany, Münchener Ruderclub von 1880, getting about 3/4 of a length as they come out at the end of the island. Just looking slightly slicker, slightly more composed, and with these slightly difficult conditions at Henley Royal this week, bit of a headwind, the water's a bit bumpy. It's important to make sure that you refine your technique, that you ensure that you're in the best possible shape coming down the river, and that you can apply the power in the right points. At the moment, every stroke is just taking Munich a little bit further away from Riverside.
Yeah, Münchener Ruderclub almost a length now. Their stern just eking out onto the bow ball of the Riverside Boat Club B crew. We can see there the coxswain from Munich back towards us. That's Clara Drews, 28 years of age. Just a sharp look over the left shoulder there. She can see that they've got a bit of distance now on the Riverside crew. Still early days in this race, and we know that it's been tricky conditions. You can see there the boat speed 19 kilometres per hour. They are the faster moving boat on the course, currently in the lead.
The start sequence at Henley Royal is such an interesting thing because it's so much more critical to get a good start at Henley than I think in any other regatta around the world. Not least because it is one-on-one, but also because it's the booms, it's the atmosphere, it's everything about it. If you can get up to a length early doors and just sit on your opposition, it gives you such a psychological advantage and basically makes the remainder of the race that much bit easier. Now, obviously, we've seen crews who have been down at the barrier still go on to win, but I would say, Sarah, it's more of an exception than the rule that happening.
Yeah, and especially in the 8, it's so important to be able to get a good start here. The psychological advantage in this boat-on-boat style racing, as we see a little steering correction there from the Munich club on the left-hand side of your screen. But in the 8, really, really critical to get into a controlling position early, to be able to sit there and look back on the crew. The 8s require a really significant turn of speed to be able to come from behind, and it is a very difficult task to be able to do it. Not insurmountable, we've certainly seen it happen here. Saw a couple of races where it happened this morning, in fact, but the Munich crew, for me, looking very comfortable here over the crew from the United States of America on your screen now.
We've seen both of these crews at Henley Royal Regatta before, but just drawing attention to the boat from Munich, they actually raced at the head of the river this year, which is our longest head race. It's on the Boat Race Championship course in London. They raced on that and they came 40th overall out of, I think, 300, 400 boats. So they do have experience racing in the UK. They're regular participants in our domestic scene. And so maybe they just have a better sense of what it's like to row at an English event. Now, obviously, they're racing US opposition, who again have come to Henley before, but at the moment it's looking like the Germans are in control. And like you said, Sarah, a length in an 8 is an awful long way. It's a very long way to come back, and that looks like clear water to me.
Yeah, the cox of the crew from Munich looking right over her shoulder just to make sure that she has the measure. It's always difficult when you're in that coxing position there. Of course, now the boat out of, I guess, peripheral vision for the coxswain. Clara Drews of Munich. But moving out to clear water lead. She'll just be calling for her crew now to settle into their rhythm, building into something sustainable. It's slower conditions here with a bit of a head breeze down the course. We've seen these conditions all week and at the qualifiers. And if you let that rate drop too low, it can become a real punish. You want to stay up on top of it, keep the momentum going, opening up the lungs and just feeling a bit of that lactic. not overcooking it, of course, because it is a long week. There's still a number of days of racing, and theoretically those races should step up in difficulty each day towards Sunday. So looking to conserve something there, but still keeping the boat tapping along nicely and not really trying to muscle it down the course, which can happen if you let that rate get too low.
Yeah, 100%. So the Thames Challenge Cup is 32 crews in total, and none of these guys raced yesterday. So this is their first race on the course. It's the Wednesday, which means that they will be racing, if they're successful, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So they've got another 4 races potentially to come on consecutive days. So it just means that this is the time now for the crew from Munich just to try and maybe step off the gas a little bit. They're coming in towards the enclosures, which means they've got probably 600 metres left of this Henley course, and as such they just need now to think about, okay, what's going to be here, what's going to be occurring tomorrow, how can we make sure we close this race out while conserving as much energy as possible.
Fantastic shot across the course there, the 2/8, the coach's launch behind them. As we see there, the back of the bowman from the Munich crew, Hans Hohagen. A great shot of the crew there, just looks really simple. Crew nicely aligned up and down the center of the boat, no bodies flailing around. Pretty simple, unfussy sort of rowing. Tricky conditions though out there. Rowing in these top crews tends to make it look deceptively simple, but it is conditions out there on the gusty conditions down towards the finish line now. Riverside not letting the crew from Munich, they're keeping their stroke rate up as they come down past the steward's enclosure. We see their Münchener Ruderclub on 1880 from Germany beating Riverside Boat Club B from the United States of America in the Thames Challenge Cup.